News is the first draft of history. It is immediate and takes place in real time. Legends take longer to develop and are sometimes based on myth. This Fox News series looks at the truth behind the legend.
Barmaid, drink for my deputy, please. Mike, stay here.
Who fired that shot?
Just shooting at a stray dog, Hickok!
I don't care what you're shooting at, Bill. The law says no guns in town.
On the North American plains, opportunity calls men of courage to chase the sun west into a new frontier. They would shape a nation, lay hold of their destiny, and birth a new mythology. But with the passing of time, every myth has its reckoning. James Butler Hickok, better known to America as Wild Bill, an unruly lawman and king of the quick draw, turned professional gambler and ruthless killer. But behind every badge stands a man, and behind every legend lies the truth.
Wild Bill Hickok. Even his nickname conjures an image of an out-of-control gunslinger. The truth is, Bill Hickok is a righteous man of justice who would much rather avoid a fight than start one. There is some truth to his legend, though. If you dare to take on Wild Bill, chances are you'll wind up dead.
In the spring of 1861, 24-year-old William Hickok turns up in Rock Creek, Nebraska, a tiny stop on the Pony Express, where Bill works odd jobs, keeps to himself, and stays out of trouble.
Horse got my money yet, Duck Bill?
Not yet. I told you not to call me that.
Well, you tell him I'm coming back. You tell him I'm coming back for what's rightfully mine.
If you knew what a wholesome disregard I had for liars and rascals, they'd be liable to stay out of my way.
I'm coming back, Bill. I'm coming back.
The station was owned by a tough local character who had Southern sympathies by the name of Dave McCandless, and the Pony Express Company hadn't been paying their rent. McCandless was always coming around and harassing the people at the station.
So there was animosity between David McCandless and Wild Bill Hickok, and McCandless was a bully.
Hickok's dislike for bullies traces back to his youth in Illinois. As a young boy, Hickok grows up with abolitionist parents His family is part of the Underground Railroad that helped slaves escape to freedom.
The Underground Railroad was a network of trails and safe houses that helped people escape from slavery to the north and then on to Canada. It's illegal to do what they were doing, but many would be involved for what they would call higher law, higher calling.
Hickok is expected to help despite the risk of being caught by bounty hunters and shot dead.
Hurry, Pa, they're catching up.
I'm not seeing anything over here. Come on, let's go.
Let's get out of here.
The danger of rescuing slaves makes a lasting impression on young Bill, giving him a fearlessness that begins to define him as a man.
What are you gonna do, cry? Hey!
Hickok continues his abolitionist ways working in the Union Army. He comes to the rescue of one of his fellow scouts, a 12-year-old named William Cody. The two would remain lifelong friends.
You all right, son? You two fellas like picking on children?
Hickok's sense of justice, greatly influenced by his parents, caused him to get into situations where he should always stand up for right. He was a defender of the downtrodden. He was a defender of those who couldn't defend himself. And all this added to his aura.
The restless Hickok makes his way west and finds work with the Pony Express.
The Pony Express is the fastest means of communication in the Old West, a relay set up between different riders to get letters from one of these outposts to the other. So what towns ends up doing are setting up relay stations along the way. And it's at one of those relay stations that Wild Bill Hickok, who at this point is not Wild Bill, but Duck Bill, has his first brush with violence and fame.
The owners of the Rock Creek Station are in debt to Dave McCandless, and he wants his money. Or the deed to the property.
We don't have it.
He's right, we ain't got it.
Horace, there's someone coming.
Dave's here. With his son and the Jameses.
Ladies, better go to the cellar.
Go that way.
This ain't your property no more.
Well, I guess since you haven't paid, it's mine again. Well, hello, Duck. How about a glass of water?
There's no need for that. Mr. McCandless will be leaving soon. We can't pay what we don't have. You'll get your money.
When? That's the question.
It is not a matter of pride that we do not pay our debts.
What is it a matter of?
So we have a piece of paper that says this is...
I have a piece of paper that says you owe me 2 months.
The biggest mystery of the shootout at Rock Creek is who fires first, Wellman or Hickok. We'll never know for sure, but many historians find it hard to believe that Hickok would take the first shot, especially from behind a curtain. It's just not in his character. The more likely scenario is that Wellman takes the first shot and Hickok, being the better shot, prevails.
The boy escapes, but 2 in McCandless's gang are still alive. The Wellmans act out of desperation in the moment. But Hickok is determined to see it through to the end.
You started this. Now we gotta finish it.
The McCandless incident becomes the story of one man single-handedly taking on an entire gang of ruffians. And Wild Bill becomes someone who has not just killed maybe 1 or 2 men, but hundreds. This is the moment where the Wild Bill of legend is born. And it is that legend that Hickok will trade on for the rest of his life.
Hickok is now branded a gunslinger, a reputation that is undeserved. But to survive the untamed West, it's a reputation he will need to earn.